Dear students, let us discuss the story entitled We Are Not Afraid to Die If We Can All Be Together from the textbook Hornbill. The story has been written by Gordon Cook and Alan East. Gordon Cook was born on 3rd December 1978 in Toronto. He is a two-time Canadian Olympic sailor. He sails for the Royal Canadian Yacht Club. He is the son of Stephen Cook and Linda Cook. He had a great interest in writing stories too. Alan East was admitted to the Roll of Solicitors in 2003 and has gained extensive experience as a litigator, manager, and legal trainer. In 2010, Alan joined Coventry University as a senior lecturer in law. The story, We Are Not Afraid to Die If We Can All Be Together, is a story of extreme courage and skill exhibited by Gordon Cook, his family and crewmen in a war with water and waves for survival. In July 1976, the narrator, his wife Mary, son Jonathan, and daughter Suzanne set sail from Plymouth, England, to duplicate the round-the-world voyage made 200 years earlier by Captain James Cook. They took the voyage in their professionally built ship, the Wave Walker, accompanied by two experienced sailors, Larry Vezel, an American, and Herb Sizzler, a Swiss, to tackle one of the world's roughest seas, the Southern Indian Ocean. The first part of the journey, that is, about 105,000 kilometers up to Cape Town, passed off very pleasantly. On the second day, out of Cape Town, they began to encounter strong gales. Gales did not worry the narrator, but the size of the waves was alarming, up to 15 meters, as high as the mainmast. On 25th December, the writer's ship was in the Southern Indian Ocean, 3,500 kilometers to the east of Cape Town. The family celebrated their New Year on board the ship. At dawn on January 2nd, the waves were gigantic. Unfriendly weather and gigantic waves compelled the sailors to slow their speed, drop a storm jib, and take other precautions. The danger was so obvious that the sailors completed life raft drill, attached lifelines and life jackets. Suddenly, at 6 p.m., a tremendous explosion shook the Wave Walker, and the author was thrown overboard. The ship was about to capsize when another gigantic wave hit it, tossing it upright once again. The author was thrown back onto the deck, his head and ribs smashing against the walls. In spite of his injuries, the narrator took charge of the situation. Somehow, he found the fill, lined up the stem for the next wave, and hung on till Mary appeared and took charge of the fill. Larry and Herb started pumping out water like madmen. The whole starboard side bulged inwards. The narrator managed to cover canvas across the gaps to prevent water from entering the ship. Then came more problems. Their hand pumps stopped working and electric pumps short-circuited. Fortunately, the narrator found a spare electric pump under the cart room that worked. The entire night was spent in pumping, steering, repairing, and sending radio signals. The narrator checked charts and calculated that Isle Amsterdam, a French scientific base, was their only hope. Sue and John were injured, but they said that they were not afraid to die if they could all be together. Sue's head was swollen and she had a deep injury. The narrator became more determined, seeing his children's courage. Finally, they reached Lie Amsterdam, a volcanic island where they were welcomed by 28 inhabitants. Thus, the collective strength and never-failing optimism of the sailors made it possible for them to come out of the jaws of death. Though Jonathan and Susan did not do anything to save Wave Walker, but their courage, forbearance, faith, and optimism gave extra strength and persistence to the narrator and his team. The bravery of the strong willed children is noteworthy in the story. Now, the moral that the story bears. The most important lesson that we learn from such hazardous experiences when we are face to face with death is not to lose hope under any circumstances. At times, life presents very dire situations, but if one is optimistic about finding a solution and overcomes the odds, one will always be success. Now, glossary, that is meanings of the difficult words. Voyage means a long journey in sea or space. Honing means improving. Encounter means face or be challenged. Knot means nautical mile. Distance of 1852 meters covered in a given time. Gigantic means very big or huge. Jib means a small sail. Impending means about to happen anytime. Ominous means suggesting something bad is about to happen. Abandon means leave something and someone in difficulty. Starboard means right side of a ship or boat. Mayday calls means radio signal for help. Improvise means make or use what is available innovatively. Sextant means an instrument for measuring angles and distances used to calculate position of a ship or aircraft. Caricatures means a funny drawing or picture.